Tawana Andrew, and it's been a very soggy day today.
Soggy day. Flash flood watch is still in effect, although we have dodged a bulk of the rain here, at least in Tallahassee Metro. We still picked up over half an inch of rain, and more can be on the way.
And that flood watch will extend until 8 p.m. tonight. So.
8 p.m. So that's if you're in Leon, Wakulla, Liberty, Gadsden, and coastal Bay County, even west of here. They've had more than their fair share of rain. Now, not a complete weather-related story, but we'll throw it in out there. If you were trying to get to work this morning on Appalachia Parkway, you may have found that it was closed due to some railroad work. That has since been opened, so all crossings railroad-wise at Lafayette Street as well as Appalachia Parkway are open. It did take a little longer than normal due to the rain in the area, but traffic is again flowing on US 27.
That must not have been fun to work in the rain, but
No.
It had to be done, didn't it? Well, we can send it out to Paxton with the overview soon. But we'll continue to talk about some rain chances tonight, which she'll be talking about eventually.
Yes, there is one more band that just moved through recently. We're seeing that in just north of Tallahassee, sinking farther southward across the Appalachia Parkway as well. But Paxton, you're going to have more of that, and we're just going to throw it on out there. Take it away.
Well, thank you for throwing it right on out here to me. But what I could tell you is that today we did have a high of 82 degrees. And as you can see, we are below average, and that's probably due to the moisture and the clouds in our area are making the sun not available to us, which is great for us. Currently, it is 75. The rain is still out there. That will be continuing for a little longer throughout the night. And the dew point is in the 70s. And look at this, 100% relative humidity. So it is quite muggy out there. It's nothing too fun or nothing great out there anyway. But there is a flash flood into effect till 8 p.m. What Pete and Tawana were saying. The rainfall is about 0.1 to 0.25 inches. So we will be getting a lot more rain right now as we did actually in September. So look at that. We still are in September, but guess what? We're almost in October. And we do have a mildly wet week, and it will be drying up as we get longer or more into the week. But we're going to just hand this right back over to Tawana and Pete.
Thanks, Paxton. So let's talk about that dip in the jet stream that's going to be affecting some of the U.S.
Okay, so jet stream, for those at home, is a large river of air in the atmosphere, and it does steer storms. In fact, a dip in the jet stream is what's causing a lot of the rainfall in the eastern half of the country today. But if you just rewind back 3 or 4 days, this dip in the jet stream was centered over western states. We're talking about California, Nevada, and Oregon. And thankfully, it was bringing some much-needed rainfall.
Haven't they been in a drought for the past couple of months?
Yes, extending into last year, unfortunately. Rainfall rates in the Red River Valley, well below normal. They did get a dose of 1 to 3 inches earlier on.
Yeah.
But surprisingly enough, Tawana, the biggest source of fresh water in the west is actually snow.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, snowpack that melts in the springtime season, that brings all the lakes and rivers back up to an appreciable level for the season. So water here in our area has not been a shortage.
No, not at all. Not with all that rain that's been pouring into our area, with that low pressure system and that stationary front that have been sitting over us for the past couple of days. If you can pull up the radar, we'll be able to see that. That's been sitting over us, and it's been inundating us with some rain and some not so great weather around. So we still have that flash flood effect until 8 p.m. and we have the rain. There's a little bit of rain over Leon County right now, not as much as we had earlier. You can see that band has scooted on through and dissipated a bit. It's currently to our south, so nice rain for the southern parts of Leon County and closer to the coast. If you're closer in St. Mark's, prepare for some wet weather and make sure you have your umbrellas ready. Currently in our area, we are sitting at 75 degrees with the light rain, so dew point and our current temperatures match up, so humidity is at 100%. It feels very, very muggy outside. That you can see that moisture draped across the Sunshine State. The most moisture is currently over Orlando and Central Florida, and you can see that drier air getting ready to scoot into our region, giving us better weather. Not as many umbrellas will be seen around the Tallahassee region once that pushes on through. So low pressure system, as I scoot on out of the way, low pressure system is going to be moving to our east and dissipating along with that stationary front, and that's going to give us less chance of thunderstorm once that dissipates. So guys, be ready for better days to come. So you don't have to pack as many rain boots in the kids' backpacks for the next couple of days. For tonight, 72 degrees will be our low, 70% chance of rain, cloudy, wet. Up to a quarter of an inch is going to be expected tonight. So if you are driving, make sure you turn around and don't drown. That's the most important thing. For tomorrow, 84, damp Tuesday, less chance of rain, 20%, some light winds. So that'll be absolutely great. So 7-day forecast, we have 20% chance of rain for tomorrow. Bumps back up on Wednesday, but we will be seeing more sun. Friday, look at that, absolutely gorgeous weekend to come. Some warmer temperatures in our area as we move into the end of the week. But Jay, what do you have to say?
Well, I have a lot to say today. Currently, you're seeing 85 in Montgomery, 75 Tallahassee. Let me step away just for a second to see a lot more temperature. Sorry, you're seeing 85 in Key West. Sorry, 85 in Miami, and you're seeing 86 in Key West. Some cooler temperatures are in play because all the rain has been happening around the southeast. 24-hour temperature change, I want to show you just how much of a temperature change has came because of all the rain that's been in the area. You are seeing a drop of 9 degrees in Orlando. It's a slight temperature drop in Miami and Key West. Tallahassee, you are seeing a slight temperature drop of 4 degrees. But New Orleans, you got a more temperature upgrade. For rainfall since midnight, you are seeing 0.63 in Tallahassee. That's a lot of rain for our area. I know we've been needing it because we've seen a lot more drier days. Like last week, you are seeing overcast the week before, and now you're seeing a lot more rain. Orlando, you're still the big winner for all the rain that's happening since midnight. You're seeing 1.71 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain for the area, and it's going to keep continuing for a while. You're starting to see a lot more of the rain coming into Orlando. It's going to be sticking around for a while. We're starting to see at least till Wednesday for all the rain in the area. Tallahassee, we're almost done with the rain. You're seeing 20% chance on Tuesday. So once that moves out, you're seeing a lot more sunshine and a lot more drier conditions later on in the week. I'm going to show you that with the Futurecast. Futurecast, you are seeing a low and the front starting to make its way out of the area. So when you hit Tuesday around noon, going into Wednesday, you start to see a lot more slight chance of thunderstorms. But by Wednesday afternoon, going into Thursday, a lot more sunny conditions and just time for game day against Wake Forest. You see a lot more drier conditions. Rain chance is going to be going down significantly to 20-30% for most of the week. So I know you're looking forward to that if you have any plans for game day or any such plans like that. Tonight's forecast, you're actually 70 degrees in Tallahassee, 64 in Montgomery, 64 in Savannah. A lot more cooler temperatures for tonight. I know that is a saving grace from all the hot weather we've been seeing the past couple of weeks. You're seeing a lot more cooler temperatures because of rain coming into the area. Tomorrow's forecast, you're seeing 86 in Tallahassee. It's still going to be quite a muggy one because of all the rain in the area. It's still going to be much sweaty weather indeed. You are seeing 87 in Montgomery, 88 in New Orleans. You start to see a lot more of a temperature difference between all the rain. Right here, you start to see a lot more lines, sunny conditions. I mean, it's going to be making its way out a little bit further going into the next couple of days. Like I said before, it's going to be a lot more drier conditions going into Wednesday and Thursday. So you expect a lot more sunnier weather and a lot more happier people around campus. I know you have to see a lot more rain in the area, but that will not be the story for much longer. A lot more dry conditions, a lot more sunny weather. So we expect to see a lot more happier and garden gold for the next couple of days when we start to see a lot more sunnier conditions and a lot more happy people. But I know 2 happy people at the desk, right, P and Tawana?
Right, we may be happy, but the people out in the Great Plains are not so happy. They have a strong chance of severe storms for tonight.
Yes, even here in September, it's still making headlines. We're talking about Colorado, Wyoming, and even into Kansas.
So a tornado watch is currently in effect for northeast Colorado, northwest Kansas, and southeast Wyoming, including Cheyenne. So some big cities are in that chance, and especially since it's nighttime when those tornadoes could move through, that's super dangerous.
Yeah, at nighttime, you're not able to actually visually spot the tornado. Weather Service is, of course, keeping us apprised, looking at the situation with their radars, also just giving us a heads up with that watch. So anywhere in the tornado watch, tornadoes are possible, including some severe storms with some large hail.
So large hail is not so great, and then you have the tornadoes as well. So we might be complaining about the rain, but they have so much more to not look forward to.
It's going to shift eastward as that progresses into tomorrow. But for a better look all around the nation, let's send it out to Shane with our national.
Thanks, guys. Well, what we've got around the nation right now is a two-part weather story, and you can kind of see the two parts here on this map, the reds in the east. That's a very warm air mass. And up here in the northwest, all these greens, those cooler temperatures are in sharp contrast. And that boundary where they line up right there across Colorado into Nebraska and the Dakotas, that's a cold front. And we're going to see that in the weather map in just a few moments. But let's see where we are right now. Pretty much the same story. We're just beginning to dip down from our daily highs. And we're looking at currently 69 degrees in Atlanta, where it is cloudy right now. Quite warmer, however, 87 in Dallas, 81 in Kansas City. And then cooler still, 53 in Denver, 56 in Billings. They're definitely under quite a cool spell right now. And check out these temperature changes, quite dramatic up there in Minneapolis. It's 24 degrees cooler right now than it was 24 hours ago, and that is incredible. 19 degrees cooler in Denver, quite significant all the same, and a 21 degree temperature change in Boston. These are dramatic cool-offs that are a result of a cold air mass that's moving across the nation right now. Now let's check out the UV indices. These indicate how intense the sun's radiation is coming to the surface and are very relevant for outdoor activity. The highest is naturally in the state of Texas, where they got lots of sunshine today, and decreasing as we get to more cloudy regions like up there in Montana, as well as here in the southeast, only 7 right there on a scale out of 12. So the higher the UV index, the more likelihood of sunburn, so be sure to cover up, get the sunscreen out. Now let's focus in on exactly what's causing that dramatic change in temperature from west to east. We've got this cluster of rain that's cycling around the Rocky Mountains right now. That's around a low pressure center that's associated with the cold front that is dividing the country in half right now. We've also got a few systems in the east that we're going to zoom in on now. Let's take a look at the southeast. This is that air system that's been causing lots of rain across the southeast today. Fortunately, not too much has fallen in Tallahassee, save in the last hour or so, but it has spread from the peninsula of Florida across the coast of Georgia into the Carolinas, dousing them with a damp, rainy, gray Monday. Taking a look in the northeast, however, we've got this band of storms that's moved across the Michigan peninsula and has actually brought some snow into parts of Canada. That's associated with yet another cold front that was responsible for that dramatic change in temperature in Minneapolis that we saw earlier. And here's the central culprit for the country's weather today. Notice the counterclockwise spin of these clouds. That's indicative of a low pressure system. Let's zoom out to the country right now. We're not dealing with too many airport delays, I'm happy to tell you. And as for tonight across the country, look at 46 in Denver, 70 degrees in Phoenix, and tomorrow going to be warm and sunny again, 86 in Tallahassee, 90 in Miami. So let's send it off to Nikki right now to bring it back home.
Thank you so much, Shane. And our weather headlines are really telling much of the story. We do that flash flood event for most of Georgia, southern Georgia, and most of our area as well. That is going to be happening until 8 p.m. tonight. So the rain is in the area, can bring a couple more inches. Actually, precisely about a 1/10 to a 1/4 inch of rain is expected for tonight still. So I know we've been dealing with the soggy Monday all day, but the weather conditions will continue for the remaining of the night and into the wee hours of the morning. And for the rest of the week, we're also expecting to have some wetter conditions. So we'll start to see our rain chances remaining at the 20 and 30% mark. So quite a wet one for the remainder of the week, guys. This weekend, though, we'll start to dry things back up. Let's take it back home, though. Sitting down for dinner, we actually saw a high of 82 degrees today, a low of 73. So it was not too hot, but it was definitely some muggier conditions out there. But our current temperatures right now are looking quite nice. We've cooled down quite a bit. 76 degrees right now in Tallahassee, 81 in St. Mark's, and looking over in Perry, sitting at 64. So quite cooler over in Perry. The rain has definitely affected much of the area. Now, the dew points. Now, we just saw most of our current temperatures were sitting in the 70s. Our dew points are also in the 70s. So when we're looking at precipitation, when we have those dew points close to those temperatures, we're seeing some rain, guys. We're seeing rain most of the area around Tallahassee and actually in southern Georgia as well. We're getting a lot of popcorn showers spreading across much of the region. You could see our radar right here, just really spread out across much of the area. And that's because of this little guy back here. This stationary front that followed me home this weekend all the way back to Tampa, then moved right back up on my drive up, brought some more rain, and that low pressure system that was sitting in the Gulf is moving off to the northeast. This will be dissipating as the week continues, and we'll start to see some drier conditions But once again, a chance for thunderstorms is still in the area. So we're going to give it a 20 and 30% chance for most of the upcoming days this week and drying on out into the weekend. We're going to go ahead and pop right on into, though, tonight's forecast. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be wet still. We're still going to need the umbrellas if we are going outside. 71 in St. Mark's for tonight's forecast. So we're dropping it down. We have some 60s across the board, some 70s as well. Perry sitting at 69 degrees for this evening. For tomorrow, though, we're going to be drying things out, so not nearly as wet as it was today. We'll sit at 20% for tomorrow, and we'll have the winds coming out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we aren't even breaking the 90s, which is nice. Beach forecast, though, looking pretty good. I don't know why I moved over here, so I'll come back on this side so you can see what I'm talking about. Winds will be remaining out of the northeast, like we said, and the surf will stay 2 to 3 feet. So if you are going out on the water tomorrow, possibility of some storms, obviously. Light chop is going to be there. And the 7-day is going to be remaining quite wet until this weekend moves on in. And next Monday, we'll start to see a 10% chance of rain. So dry it out just a tad bit. But we're going to go ahead and send things back on over to the desk with Shane and Jay.
Thanks very much, Nikki. Now it's time for our favorite segment on FSU weather, Today in Weather History.
Of course, and back in 1927, violent tornado outbreak from all the way from Oklahoma to Indiana. It had 81 deaths and $25 million worth of damage, very significant damage.
Yes, that's very tragic to report on. And for meteorological significance, one tornado had a path of up to 8 miles long. It's speculated that may have been 2 tornadoes, but this was an unusually destructive outbreak. Another key detail, it occurred at an unusual time of year.
Yeah, it's very unique indeed. But also we got another event in 1988.
Indeed, quite a different sort of story. A cold air mass brought freezing temperatures to the northeast.
Ooh, you're talking about, I don't know, in one place, almost Colorado, they saw a record low of 18 degrees. That's quite cold for that area. But I know someone in the studio that can warm things up for us here. Let's take it over to Tawana.
Thanks, guys. You can see those rain-cooled areas look slightly less red than South Florida. So you can see the lower temperatures where all the clouds are hanging over. 75 in Jacksonville for a current temperature, as well as Orlando. 76 in Tampa and 76 in Tallahassee. So that's where all the rain is, and that's where all the clouds are. But further south, where it was a lot sunnier today, they had highs of 79. So you can see the rain is starting to move into Miami. They had a very sunny, beautiful day down there, but now they're going to get what we got. So those showers are moving on west and about to hit the metro areas of Miami and Broward County. And Orlando and Tampa are getting serious downpours right now. I wouldn't be surprised if those people going home from work are expecting or experiencing some whiteout conditions almost, because there's so much rain pouring down. As we move further north, you can see the rain that was over us is moving more towards the east, so less rain for us in our area. Tallahassee, there was a whole bunch of storms to our west, and now they have moved south. Most of the stronger storms dissipated before they even reached our area, and they're starting to build back up further south. So if you zoom out, you can see not much to our west. Sunny skies are on the way. Well, sunnier skies. We still have that chance of rain. And that water vapor shows that green and the whites are scooting on out, and that black and the grays are moving in, making it less of gloomy conditions in our area. So that stationary front that is sitting over us will dissipate, and once it does, we have some better conditions on the way. So tonight, a low of 67, a little bit cooler. Those clouds will keep us from getting too cool tonight. 69 in Jacksonville, 75 for a low in Tampa and Orlando. And tonight will be 75 in Fort Myers. So relatively cool temperatures around the Sunshine State. For tomorrow, however, those rain chances are going to bump right back up. Orlando will be having some thunderstorms, 89, 88 for Tampa in their high. So the rain will be further south than it was today. That will be giving them some umbrella days tomorrow for them. And sunnier skies here in Tallahassee. Will have a high of 86 tomorrow. But Pete, what can you tell us about what's going on in the southeast?
Well, in the tri-state, we'll focus on the areas. That's where all the action is. We're talking about water vapor. It's all around the tri-state region. Well, Tallahassee to Valdosta to Jacksonville, Macon, all of that is within copious amounts of moisture. You see it here on the satellite. That green area right there, Macon, Valdosta, well, all the bulk of it is right down here south of well, that place, we're not going to mention it there. All that green area, that represents mid to upper level moisture, and with that, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms around the region. We'll set the satellite and radar into motion. Ribbons of moisture that funneled through Panama City earlier in Tallahassee, well, they've moved their way on east. Looks like I-10 is clear as of right now, but those ribbons of moisture will bubble northward again and hit Jacksonville with another round of showers and thunderstorms. All the action, though, is still down around the Suncoast. We're talking about US 75, also US 19, stretching through Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco counties, all getting heavy amounts of rainfall, including that flash flood advisory, as we had it here in our capital district, that stretches right down the Nature Coast as well, with that heavy rain expected to continue through much of the night. Skipping ahead, and what does that rainfall do to temperatures? Well, if I stand right in the middle, you see one side to the other, that's where the rain is. And you see where you see orange, the rain has let up and the temperatures have increased even slightly. Well, except for Dothan. They're a little 2 degrees cooler than they were yesterday. But here on the east side, where all that rain has moved through, you can see 5 to even 7 degrees cooler at this time than it was 24 hours ago. So those clouds keep in that cool air, doesn't let the sun warm you up, and that moisture sticks around under those rain showers. Now, on the water, should you want to fare out there, scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue offshore. They will die off a little bit overnight, and as we foreshadowed to our Tuesday's forecast, we're bumping those rain chances back down to the 20 to 30% range, but seas should be reasonable, 1 to 2 feet, and northeasterly winds on that north side of the low from 5 to 10 knots. Current temperatures around the region, though, see into the low 70s northward here, but hanging on to some heat westward. Meridian, 84 degrees. Montgomery, nearly 80 at 79. Capital District checks in at 76, and we have mid-70s across the northern Florida coast. Futurecast will set this into motion. You see a stationary front setting up shop just south of the panhandle of Florida and an associated low-pressure center. It's really just going to fade away and not cause us any more problems as it immediately just dissipates. The moisture, though, will hang out just a little bit through the remainder of the week, so we can't wipe away the rain chance completely. We'll put it at a 20 to 30 and even 40% chance of rain through the remainder of the week across southern Alabama, southern Georgia, and all across the panhandle of Florida, with that slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Tonight's forecast, overnight 67 degrees in Tallahassee, 68 in Valdosta, even encroaching nearly upper 50s as we head northward into Macon, Georgia. But that rain is going to keep a little bit of temperatures down across the eastern portions tomorrow as we see scattered showers in Jacksonville and Gainesville. Also a few thunderstorms a little southward there in Orlando. But the sun begins to peek in from Macon to Montgomery. You see rebounding nicely into the mid to upper 80s. We have much more in store with the dynamic duo, Jane and Shane. Take it away.
Thanks, Pete. Well, first we're going to talk about a cooler October that we've got in store.
Yes, for the past couple of days, it's been quite warm all across the northern U.S., but you're starting to see a lot more of a cool down coming into October.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a shift in perspective because we have had some record highs set in cities across the northern U.S. from Minnesota over to Maine.
Yes, you're starting to see a lot more temperatures in the east and Midwest start producing temperatures 20 and 30 degrees cooler for the location of the northern plains.
Yeah, this is going to be the result of what we call an upper atmospheric trough. And all you need to know is that cities that in the northern U.S. that had highs in the 70s and 80s this past weekend, you're going to be seeing highs in the 50s and 60s next weekend.
I know we're starting to see a lot more of a warm-up because of all the rain coming out of our area. And hopefully with the last local coming in store, Paxton is going to be a lot more of the sunshine with our last local.
Hey guys, thanks. Well, today we did have 0.67 inches of rain, and we are about half an inch below average. But we are getting back up there for the month of September. So all this rain, it basically just came in within the past 2 hours, and that's when all that rain is. You can see on the radar that earlier today we had all these showers. They all popped up, but they're slowly starting to dissipate and move away from our area, which is great for us. And these rain chances will continue to decrease as the night goes on and into tomorrow, which I will show you guys in a little bit. We do have some dry air on the way, which is a nice relief for us. Currently, it is 76 in Tallahassee. It's a little cooler than what we're used to due to the clouds in the area, making the sun not able to penetrate through, warming us up like we're used to seeing this time of year. Satellite is showing that we do have some clouds in the area, but the rain is not so much here anymore. The clouds are just lingering around, bringing in all those cooler temperatures. Water vapor is showing we do have some moisture in the Gulf, but we also have some moisture all the way down here in central Florida and in that region. And as we zoom out a little bit, you can see the stationary front's moisture is just swooping across the state, and that's going to be dissipating as the day moves on and into tomorrow as it moves off to the East Coast. We do have the low levels, or the low pressure system pushing off the East Coast along with the stationary front moving its way up there as well. And as this passes, it's going to be bringing in a slight less chance of thunderstorms, making the rain chances go away, which is great for us because we don't like those rain boots and carrying those umbrellas with us because it's just a hassle and in the way of they get everything wet. We don't like that. So for tonight, it's going to be 67 in Tallahassee. We're in those 60s still, nothing like the 80s. Cloudy and wet. We do still have that chance of rain. Nothing so much compared to last week or yesterday and all of that. For tomorrow, we do have a 20% chance of rain, a lot less than today, which we had about 70 to 80%. But all of that showed up going into this afternoon. But which the sun will be peeking out tomorrow. We will have a little bit of breezy conditions. For the 7-day, you can see that we had the 80s going all the way through. We also had the chances of rains and the lingering clouds. But as you can see, going into Saturday, we have a 30% chance of rain, which is great since we do have that football game we're looking forward to. So go Noles for that. But we're going to go hand this on over to Jay and Shane for one last segment.
Yes, that's right, Paxton. Always go Noles. I know with the NC State game, we were all dying of heart attacks. Yes. I definitely was. I was in there panicking. We finally pulled it out. 56-41 was our final score, so we're still number one and still undefeated.
Yes, very happy for another Seminole victory. But what other sports have we got going on this week?
Well, for most of the week, we're starting to see a lot more tennis. For the men, they're playing an Intercollegiate Tennis Association Men's All-American Championships in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so I wish them the best of luck. And for the women, from Thursday to Sunday, they're competing in the All-American main draw over in Malibu, California.
California, that's a lovely trip. We wish the women's tennis team the best of luck.
Yes, but our big story is Saturday, again, for FSU football versus Wake Forest at 3:30 p.m.
Yes, and per the forecast for cooling temperatures, well, we don't see significant drops in the highs and lows for this Saturday. Stay tuned to FSU Weather all week as we bring you updated forecasts for Saturday's game.
But I like seeing all those cooler temperatures. You start seeing a lot more 86, 87s, no more 90s, lows in the 60s. I know that's a lot more cool weather. I know everyone's going to be enjoying that for the rest of the week. Rain chances do go down the rest of the week as well. So a lot more greater chances of happy people around campus.
Indeed. I'm going to be looking forward to waking up to the 60s instead of the muggy 70s that we've seen all month this semester.
Oh, yeah. It's been quite grim because of all the rain coming around. But if you want to be more happy people, you can always like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And you can always watch our lovely faces on livestream.com/FSU Weather.
Yes, we've got all our shows saved on livestream.com. So if you want to rewatch for the forecast, or you can tune in tonight at 11 on 4FSU. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm student meteorologist Shane Pendleton.
And I'm student meteorologist Jay Kimball. Have a great night and make sure to stay dry.